Hi everyone, and welcome to Storytime with Kate. Today's workshop is on using mind maps for planning or using webbing for planning. Today we are going to use different words. So webbing and mind mapping in my context are interchangeable. So what is webbing or a web? So a web is a tentative diagram. So you probably remember it from school. The diagram is something that looks like a brainstorm image or picture. Usually it goes in different directions or might have some connections between ideas. It could be in a shape of a fishbone. It could be in a shape of a mind map. So I am quite often use mind maps, which are special types of diagrams that are developed by Tony Buzan for thinking, which he called divergent thinking. Before we start learning about different types of webbing, and you will do one with me, let's have a look at some examples. These are examples from my students, and one of the examples is mine. So as you can see on the right, example 2 is a mind map of a butterfly inquiry, which is using webbing. So we have a topic in the middle that is focusing on butterflies, and we have some suggested ideas and draft ideas of what the teacher can think of. So for example, when you have interest in butterfly, you can consider dancing. Yeah, children can dance as butterflies. Yeah, so we can have those wings or scarves, and children can actually use them for dancing. You can think of some stories about butterflies, and the first one that comes to your mind might be a very hungry caterpillar. Or you might have different stories that you will use puppets with. You also might consider some art, painting, visual art, and you can make wings. Yeah, or you can make some prints that are celebrating butterflies, or you can use mosaics. So whatever you are using for your project, you're gonna write it down here. Next one you can see is drama. So drama is playing out, acting out. So you might think of maybe dramatic area, maybe children's theater. So whatever you think, you can branch out from here as well. We also have similarities with other insects. You can consider what are those similarities. For example, butterflies, insects, they have very interesting body and they have 6 legs. Yes, so you might notice that. 6 legs. At the moment, I have caterpillars in my garden. So to this butterfly inquiry, you can add inquiry about their life cycle, show chart of life cycle, or have a puzzle, or play it out through dramatic acting out, or watch real caterpillars, and that's why I will add magnifying glass here, and observe their life cycle outside. So this is an example of mind map that someone else created. So it is fun to see real mind maps, but there is no right wrong in webbing or planning using diagrams or webbing. So webbing is very versatile. It can be used at different stages of your planning and projects. But you will once you will learn to use it and you will use some tools, you will find it very, very accessible and actually very beautiful. So this is a diagram, I would say mind map, that was used by my student in university, and this student created an inquiry around tires. So in addition to what is here, you would add a lot of pictures, and that would be a perfect documentation to share with your colleagues, to share with your educational leader, to share with families as well, and even children, because you see it is colorful and it's beautiful. There are different apps and software that you can use to create a map like this, but you can see branching out is one of the key ideas in mind maps. So if you look at different directions here, we have some questions that student is starting with. So I'm just following this line. You can see why tires are black. A lot of children have wonderful questions that can start your inquiry. For example, where do snails live? How do butterflies fly? why the ties are black. So for example, do ties affect our environment? That could be an interesting intentional teaching question. And then we can talk about the ties are thrown away. Where do the beads go? Down the drains. Ties, beads are found on the road. Are they polluting the environment? Does rubber end up in the sand? Do shells have rubber in them? What about fish and ocean ecosystem? What happens to the sea life with rubber in the ocean? And how toxic are those ties? So you can see really, really good questions. Another inquiry branch you can see is green here. So we are learning more about the process of making ties. How do we make ties? What is happening in the factory? So are there any greenhouse emissions, fossil fuels, raw materials, energy, particles emissions? So this might be a simplified question, but the teacher is planning for herself. But you can see that they are quite deep and interesting inquiry branches. So the next inquiry question is about ties, what they are made of. So focusing on material. Yep, and some interesting questions that are related to sustainability as well. The orange branch talks about recycling. Yes, so you can see, can we use them in our backyards? Because children can actually see that ties are used sometimes for decoration, for gardening. Can we actually use them to grow plants? Are they okay? Are they biodegradable? And what does this word mean? And the final one, blue, you can see is what are ties used for? So you can see that there are cars and trucks, bikes might have ties. And here is where you will have lots of conversations with children, a lot of pictures from iPad or like real life observations as well, what they know about ties. So this is an example of mind map that this student used, and it's an amazing part of their inquiry. But today I'm going to show you one very, very simple way to start with mind maps. And we are going to use, let's say, planning as part of your placement. So we are going to have a central idea. Sometimes as a student or an educator, you need to provide children with physical activities, let's say for outdoor area. So we have outdoor area. And we have outdoor area. We need to think about different types of equipment that we are going to use. Yeah. So in here we are going to use this kind of equipment. So we are going to use balls. So we're gonna use different types of equipment. So for example, we are going to use hula hoops. So then we can start branching out from here. So here we have different types of sizes. Yeah, so textures, which you can add to your storage room outdoor or the shed. Hoops could be used for different games. Yeah, they can be made of wood, metal. They could be made of plastic. So you're branching out here. Then you can choose a different color for the next branch. Yeah, and consider pool noodles. So how are you gonna add, let's say, pool noodles to your outdoor area? Pool noodles are pretty cool. So you can make an obstacle course. You can make, you can fight with pool noodles. You can turn them into hoops as well. Do some dancing with pool noodles, or anything you like. So for example, they can be used for dancing as well. Then you choose a different color for the next branch. So we usually use one idea per branch if you're using mind maps. And here you are thinking about, let's say, bubbles. Yes, so bubbles. But instead of just using plastic bubbles from Kmart or any other shop, you can think of bubble station. Yeah, so set up a station. And you might think about children can make their own bubble solution, and they can come and get more bubbles from this bubble station, and they can also make bubble wands. So that's the whole idea of activities, experiences, learning and play that branches out from your thinking about what to set up in this area. So next branch would be blue. And we keep thinking, what else do we have in there? So I'm a huge fan of bean bags. They're special small bean bags for fundamental movement skills. They're filled with sand, so you can call them sandbags as well. Some are filled with different types of fillers. And here you can think of that these bean bags might be weatherproof. Yeah. They might be used for intentional teaching activities like games. They might be used for balance, etc. So next branch you are thinking, you see, you already have a lot of experiences outdoor that you planned, because this method allows your mind to think faster and come up with a lot of ideas. For example, you might start thinking about a dramatic area, dramatic play outdoor. I noticed that quite often we don't have a lot of dramatic play areas in early childhood centers, but there are so many opportunities. For example, you can set up car wash, because outdoor you might have water, so, and you might have bicycles or a little cars, like ride-on cars, and you can set up car wash there. You can set up picnic area. Yeah, you can set up a camping spot. You might have some dramatic play in the sandpit, such as making pies. Yes, so you just need to add more equipment there, so such as pies and some pots and pans. You might have a potion station. That's quite common. Potion station, where children will be making witches potions, or potions inspired by the book about possum magic. You can actually set up farmers market, which is quite unusual idea, but reflects the community where I live in Melbourne. We have a lot of farmers markets or weekend markets, because they are quite cool, and you can set up using some recycled crates. You might set up a simple shop as well, with recycled boxes such as coffee, tea, muesli, whatever boxes you have. And of course, you can keep going and going, branching out. So this is an example of how I use mind map, so you can see, to brainstorm outdoor area play spaces. Yeah, so that's a very easy way to brainstorm. So next one will be focusing on inquiring, and I will make another video, so stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this workshop, and I hope it will help you to be amazing at your planning and become better at what you do. Thank you for being amazing educators, and subscribe if you like this video.